Hey everybody, it's Dr. Detroit here, the doctor is in, and welcome to something just a little bit different. I don't know if you guys saw the community post a couple of weeks ago, from the time of recording this, but our NASCAR Xfinity season has come to a sad and abrupt end because NASCAR Heat 5 decided to completely wipe that season with 14 races left. So, even though I backed up the files, it didn't work out. But here's what we have as a replacement. Welcome to SRX, which stands for Superstar Racing Experience, the game. This game came out in 2021, and it's actually a game that is based on the SRX series that was created by the man right there on the screen right now, Tony Stewart. We are going to do the 6-race calendar that this game comes with. And if you guys enjoy the season, and if you guys want to see more of it, there's a chance we could actually do a 24-race calendar. So, before we get into the season and stuff, let's go ahead and take a look at who is actually in this game. Because this is pretty cool too. Also, down the road, we could do a couple of late model races, could do some stadium truck, maybe some sprint races, and some super late model. But that's not till later. Anyway, let's show you the cars we're going to be using. This is our model here. This is the number 84 car. I'm actually using my league number for this one. But this series brings in champions and drivers from all over the place, from all different disciplines, to come and race on a short track. The car here is based on the old Gen 4 car that NASCAR drove. Many of you have seen that particular car before. I'll put one up on the screen so you can see kind of where this car gets its base design from. It also has a big old rear wing that is very reminiscent of the Plymouth Superbirds. But let's take a look at who's in the game. We're going to be racing with Marco Andretti, who was an IndyCar star. He won the pole for the 2020 Indianapolis 500 and is also the son of Michael Andretti and the grandson of Mario Andretti. Greg Biffle. Here's a former Cup Series driver who was always great on the track, and of course populated the catchphrase "Stick with the Biff." You can see he's the number 16 in this game. Scott Bloomquist, a short track specialist, will be racing with us a few times. Brian Brown, I'm not 100% sure who he is, but maybe somebody in the comments section can help me figure out a little bit more about him. Then we have Elio Castro-Navis. Screw the Spider-Verse, this is the real Spider-Man here. He is the 4-time Indy 500 champion, who actually won it more recently in 2021. And he's also one of the very much loved drivers in the garage area. He also is the winner of Dancing with the Stars a couple of seasons ago when he danced with Julianne Hough. So it's going to be great to share the track with such a cool driver. Doug Coby, who's another short track phenom, will be driving out there with us. Awesome Bale from Dawsonville. It's Bill Elliott, who is the father of 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion Chase Elliott. Bill Elliott also is a champion from 1985, and also was known as $1 Million Bill because he won the first ever Winston Noble 5 and won $1 million at the famed Darlington Raceway. Then we have Luke Fenhaus, who will be joining us for at least one of the tracks. Ernie Francis Jr. came from the Indy Lights division, which is now called Indy Next, and he also has done some other cool things. And we'll get to be out there with him. Hopefully he does really well. And how about Tony Kanaan? Now here's the other Brazilian driver that everybody loves. When he's introduced to the crowd goes bonkers and ballistic. Tony Kanaan is the 2013 Indianapolis 500 champion, and he's also another one of the very likable Brazilian drivers, always with a smile on his face, and he's also, too, an Ironman. He is an absolute athlete. Bobby Labonte, the 2000 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Bobby Labonte was a teammate to Tony Stewart back at Joe Gibbs Racing, and has also done some other racing as well, and was also on NASCAR Race Hub for a bit on Fox Sports. Fox Sports 1. Then we have Willie T. Ribbs. Now, Willie T. Ribbs is not a name you might know of, but he raced in open wheel for a little bit and made a couple of starts in IndyCar, as well as also some other racing stuff. And his name is so cool, Willie T. Ribbs. It's really neat. Bobby Santos III, you may have heard of him. He's another short track phenom. Races in a lot of the lower divisions and stuff. Scott Speed will be out there for a couple of races. Scott Speed, many of you may know as he has done a couple of Cup Series races and pretty much everything that you can think of. I don't remember if he did IndyCar or not, but I'll have to look that up and see. Then there's one of the makers of the series, Tony Stewart, the 3-time Cup Series champion, who takes his number 14, and I had mentioned that he's a teammate to Barry Labonte. Then we have Cody Swanson, who is another short track phenom. Then we have the most recently suspended driver, Paul Tracy, who was an IndyCar driver who everybody loved to hate, unless you were Canadian, and then he was your absolute hero. So we'll be sharing the track with him out there. Hopefully he doesn't wreck us. How about Michael Waltrip, the 2-time Daytona 500 champion? He won in 2001, which he still considers to be the darkest day of his life. Well, everybody does, because that was when, sadly, we lost Dale Earnhardt. But 2 years later, in 2003, in a rain-shortened event, he could finally celebrate another Daytona 500 win. But I felt like he could finally celebrate without having any issues hanging over or anything like that. We also will see some other drivers in the show, but let's go ahead and go into the championship. So there is the regulation season right there. And you may notice that it says Knoxville, but what we are actually going to do is that we're going to restart the championship. So, through the magic of editing, we now have restarted the championship. You're probably wondering why it said Knoxville and then we had to reset. That's because I tried to record this a couple of days ago, and unfortunately my microphone did not pick up, plus the racing just didn't feel right. So, we're going to restart the season, so that way you guys can see it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Our schedule for this, we're going to start things off at Stafford Motor Speedway in Stafford, Connecticut. That's a really fun track. It'll be a nighttime race as well. Then we head to the Knoxville Raceway, which will be where the Knoxville Nationals are made. I believe that is a dirt track. Then we head to Tony Stewart's Raceway at Eldora. Then we'll head to the Lucas Oil Raceway, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana. That should be a fun one. Then one of the smallest tracks ever, Slinger Speedway. That's going to be a fun event. And the banking, whoo, it's high. And then we head to the Nashville Fairgrounds, which will wrap up the season, and we'll see who gets the championship. But first, we got to take care of Stafford. Now, as this goes along, I will explain the format for these races, and pretty much it's not going to be the same qualifying and race that you guys are used to. So let's get down to the track, or let's get into the garage area, and I will explain the race format. All right, here we are at Stafford Speedway in the garage area. And as you can see, the car setup here, we can actually change around with the car setup a bit, but I'm going to use kind of a default setup for this race. Okay, so let me explain the race format to you all. There will be 2 heat races that we have to go through. And in those heat races, we have to just race, and we have to place somewhere. So I think the way I have this set up is that they're 6.5 minutes long. All right? I don't know how many laps that equates to. It's gonna change, track to track. After the first heat is done, the field will then be inverted. So wherever we finish, like let's say if we win the first heat, we end up starting last, and then everybody else just kind of flip-flops. After race number 2, the game will take the average finishing position that we accumulated between those 2 races, and that's going to be where we start for the main event. The main event is going to be 50 laps long, which is going to be really cool. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. The car is going to be really hard to drive, but it's going to be really cool. So, the game will randomly place us wherever we're supposed to be, but if you're ready and you look ready, let's go ahead and get right into the race and see what we can do. I'm kind of excited to see what the heck we're going to be able to do, because, believe me, this new racing series is going to be fun, and I'm actually kind of excited. So, here we go. There's the field, and it looks like I see us. We're going to be starting on the outside here, the 6th position, right next to Marco Andretti. All right, here we go. Heat number 1 here at Stafford is green, green, green. Oh, we got off to a really decent start right there. That's Greg Biffle and Tony Kanaan right in front of us. Whoops, car got a little tight there, but I think we got a little tap there from Ernie Francis Jr. Okay, this is actually a 7.5-minute race. I'm sorry. Oh, Paul Tracy already giving us a little bit of an issue there. Trying to keep ourselves up here, but I need to get down to the bottom. Right now, it's not really happening. Tony Stewart currently has the race lead. There we go. Now we can get underneath. So we can use a little bit of that apron to help us out a little bit. But here comes Doug Kobe. He's going to try and make a move underneath us. Right now, we're just kind of stuck back here. Oh, criminy. Doug Kobe got right into us. Didn't want to do that. Well, we'll rack him up and try it again. So we're going to be back here in the 10th position, which is not very good. But here we go. And green flag is back out. See if we can get down to the bottom here. Just got to get around Michael Walton by the bottom with almost 6.5 minutes remaining. There we go. Now we're cooking. Right, now we should start now we should start getting our way towards the front. We give Paul Tracy a little bump to get him out of the way. Which sometimes you have to use a little bit of the chrome horn, and you know, we're trying to get a good feel for this car as we now make a pass on Marco Andretti. Throughout these races, we'll do a little profile on these different drivers, so that way you guys know exactly who these are. Some of these drivers still race today, others do not. And that's in competitive competition, official competition. I know that Elio Castroneves and Tony Kanaan compete for everything, but I know that Tony Kanaan, as you see in front of us, he is actually semi-retired. He's not running IndyCar anymore, but he is one of the driver coaches over at McLaren now for the IndyCar side of things. 5.5 minutes remaining in this race, and right now the car is definitely feeling a little bit tight. Almost too tight for my liking, but right now we're okay right here. But Tony Stewart continues to have the lead here in this race. Now, when the clock strikes 0, you're actually going to see that we're going to get 2 extra laps. This is an old-style rule that was introduced during the first year of competition. So what that will mean is that when the clock strikes 0, we will basically have 2 to go, but depending on where Tony Stewart is, we make the pass on Tony Kanaan. It'll most likely mean the white flag will be next. Up ahead, we have Greg Biffle in the gold car, and Lindsey Ribbs here in this blue car, the Fram rear end. And this track is pretty interesting too, because I'm not much of a short track racer at all, but I did do some testing here, and I sort of know how to get around here enough that we can be okay. Right now, it's trying to keep the car nice and tidy here. We got 4.5 minutes remaining. This race. Stafford, Connecticut is also where a lot of different drivers, including the likes of Joey Logano, have cut their teeth and have won out. And mostly this series comprises of short tracks from across different areas, but they mostly run on the East Coast, not so much the West. As I made a little mess up there goes Tony Kanaan back by us. And now Elio Castroneves and Doug Colby go by us. Wow. Now the game is having a hard time right there. We just dropped a bunch of positions because of that one incident. Or because of that one little issue. Now the 2 Brazilians are going to be battling it out for the 6th position as Elio will get that position. Like right now the game is having a really difficult time. I'm not sure why it's doing that, and I'm not sure why we're having so many issues, but hopefully it's not screwing up in there. But try to get back into the rhythm is what we need to do. Now normally at this point when you know it goes into a long green flag run. Oh, hold that thought. Elio Castroneves goes for a spin, so that'll bring everybody back up together. Because I was going to say that usually they have a fun yellow, which would stack up the field and bring them close together. Well, Elio Castroneves became that fun flag. Here we go, green flag back out with 3 minutes remaining. And yeah, there is nothing in the rules that says that you don't have to stay in line, before the start-finish line. So we can actually make those sudden moves like that and try to see if we can finish a little bit stronger. We get around Willie T. Ribs, that's him in front of us. We got 2.5 minutes remaining. There we go, right underneath. But we push up from the side. Battle for the lead is behind the body, and Tony Stewart battle. There's Greg Biffle. He's looking his chops. He's hoping that those two will wreck, but it looks like they're not going to. Behind the body now takes over the race lead with Tony Stewart second, Greg Biffle third, and we are currently in the 4th position right now. Meanwhile, behind us is Michael Waltrip in that number 15 machine, the Progressive car. 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in this race. Something to keep in mind, too, is that we will have 2 dirt races that we'll be going to, and the rest will be on pavement. In fact, I believe that Knoxville and Eldora are going to be the 2 first ever dirt races on this channel, because mostly you've been doing pavement, so street courses. Walter tries to make a move at the bottom, but doesn't quite get it done. Right now, it's just a 3-car breakaway. Here comes Elio Castroneves back from that spin. Ooh, got a little loose right there, as now Elio makes the pass on the high side, but can he hang on to it? Let's see what happens here. Ooh, he keeps us right there at bay, but I think we can probably pass him up down here. We'll see, but I don't think so. So he goes into the 4th position. We slip back into the 5th position. So now we have almost less than a minute remaining in this race. So it's looking like we can get a top 5 finish in this. But remember, the points are not awarded for these heat races. This is just to set the field. The heat races just set the field, but the main event is going to be where the points are doled out. So right now, we're not too concerned about this, but you see we're having a very hard time trying to hold the bottom. As now here comes Michael Waltrip to try and make a move. Waltrip gives us a little tap, but who's that just came back? That's Willie T. Ribs. See if we can get past Ribs again with 30 seconds remaining in this. The car is getting a little bit too tight right now. There we go. Uh-oh, side by side. Side by side with Willie T. Ribs. Is he going to give us the inch? He does not. But he's going to give us that position because we found a little edge there. Alright, now watch the ticker at the top of the screen here. It's going to say 2 laps to go, and seeing that by the line is going to make it back to start-finish line right before the clock reaches 0, we are officially in 3 laps to go, actually. Alright, that's new. We always see something new every day with this game. So, now it's officially 2 laps to go, but now he's going to take the white flag, and we're going to see if we can keep our top 5 right here. So now this is the white flag lap for number 1. Here comes Doug Colby to the bottom, but didn't quite get it. But as they come back around, it's going to be by the bottom that will win this heat. Looks at first stage. Now we're just trying to keep ourselves here. We push up the track a little bit. Here comes Willie T. Ribs to the inside, and we will go to 7th. I was afraid of that. I was really afraid we were going to lose our positions there, but now the field gets inverted. And so we get inverted to 6, which is not really much. But here we go, everyone. Heat number 2 is green. See if we can make short work of everybody. Paul Tracy, and I think that's Marco Andretti that are there on the front row. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're starting to. Now we're actually starting to get somewhere here. Ooh, look out! So right now, Paul Tracy is currently the race leader, and we are currently second right now in this heat. Remember, the higher that we are, the better our finish could possibly be. Let's see what happens here, because all the faster cars are kind of stuck near the back there. We just need to try and stop being so tight. If fact, I think I'm starting to notice something here. So let's do this. Pause. Let's go over here to the driver aids really quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the wall avoidance because I think that's what's going on right there. I think that's probably the reason why we're so blasted tight. We can't make any adjustments in the race because there is no pit stops involved. Let's go ahead and get back into it. See if that's gonna help. We just need to get back into the swing of it. Oh, this feels much better now. Oh yeah. Now let's see if we can do something here with Paul Tracy. Nice and easy through there. Send him up. Kobe's right there behind us. We're gonna stick the nose to the inside of Paul Tracy. Ooh, we kind of push into him a little bit. Kind of gave us a little bit of a tap there, and also Doug Kobe is trying to get through. But look at that, give us the race lead. That little adjustment that we made to the wheel has given us the race lead here in heat number 2. So we currently have the lead. Doug Kobe is second, Elio Castronat is third, Paul Tracy is fourth, and fifth is Ernie Francis. Now Doug Colby finally got around us because we touched the apron there. Now Elio Castronat is going to go by. This track is so line sensitive that it's really tricky to like try and get this to work. But here we go. 5.5 minutes remaining. We're now on the outside. Here comes Tony Stewart again. Holy moly! Short work here of Tony Stewart, but I have a feeling we're going to end up starting way back here for the second race. There we go. Look at that. Tony Stewart skids up the track. See if we can get down there. Try and make a pass here on him, but we push up into him. Greg Biffle makes the pass. Now we're in a Biffle and Stewart sandwich, which I don't know if that tastes good or not. Oh boy. Put us back into the 4th position. As now everybody seems to be doing pretty well here now. But unfortunately we did lose the lead to Doug Kobe. So Doug Kobe currently leads, Elio Castronat is the second, Greg Biffle third, we're fourth, and Tony Stewart is just lurking right there in fifth. I think we may have to do the setup for our next race, which will be at Knoxville, because this car is really tight. This car is really tight right now. Even after we did the adjustments and stuff, Tony Stewart tried to make a move, but he messed himself up, and that gives the lead or the position to buy the body. So Tony Stewart messed himself up. He tried to get underneath us to wreck us, but that didn't work very well. Now we got 3.5 minutes remaining. Let's see if we can do something here with By the Body. But right now, the nose of this car is just not going to grip the track. It's absolutely not going to grip it. Come back around. We have about 3 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in this heat. And seeing that we're possibly going to finish in the exact same, or almost around the exact same spot that we did, it might not put us in a good position for the race, but we'll see what we can do. Remember, it's only the first race, and so it's super early in the season, so even if we don't win this one, it's okay. We still have plenty of races left, so we can get ourselves a championship. And this time, this game will not eat up the seasons, because even though It's made by Monster Games that also helped with making some of the other racing games. There hasn't been an update to this game since 2021, so our season is safe and sound. Barlow Bonnie is now made to pass around Greg Biffle. See if we can catch Greg Biffle as Elio Castroneves, who spun out earlier, is just walking away from the field right now. You can also hear me just kind of playing with the throttle here. But I'm going to stay quiet for just a few minutes and listen to you guys, and you guys can listen to me play with the throttle here. Definitely hear that I'm working the gas right now a little bit, and I'm actually feeding it in. So right here, I'm letting off, let the car coast in, and then get up here in the middle of the corner. That's kind of how I'm fixing the tight condition right now. It's just slow in, fast out, which is definitely a really great way to go as we bump the wall. 1 minute 20 remains, and it looks like Elio Castroneves is going to win this heat. Looks like we're poised to finish in the 5th position unless something goes wrong with either Greg Biffle, Barlow Bonnie, or one of the other drivers that are up there. Now we got 1 minute remaining. And you can see that the game actually put us in the nighttime because all these races are going to be night events. Because that's what you do, is nighttime racing. 46 seconds remaining. Tony Stewart is just licking his chops right there. He's gonna try and make some more moves, but did he learn his lesson from the last time that he tried to pass us? That's gonna be more tricky. 33 seconds remaining. Here at Stafford. You can see, wow, man, you can still see the tire marks from what happened. Is now Tony Stewart just went underneath us, but we're gonna go back underneath, and we kind of shoved him out of the way. Sorry about that, Tony. So now, I pretty much racked everybody up. I was getting a little frustrated with him. So now he's gonna be somewhere near the back. Sorry about that. But here we go. Here's the restart, and we're going back green with 14 seconds remaining. Let's see if we can actually make some moves here to kind of bring everybody back. I mean, we kind of made our own fun flag, didn't we? Here we go. Let's see if we can get around Greg Biffle. We're going to go right underneath him. We now have the 2 to go signal. White flag is out for this heat. It's looking like Elio Castroneves and Barlow Bonnie are going to finish this strong. And they certainly are. But we'll have a much better finishing spot than what we were going to have originally. And once again, I'm sorry to Tony Stewart for that. But Elio wins heat number 2, Barlow Bonnie second, and comes home third. Alright, let's see, how bad did it hurt? Oh man, back there in 12th. Well, it put us in the 5th position, so here we go, the main event, everybody. 50 laps will make up the running, and the main event is green. Barlow Bonnie and Elio Castroneves there on the front, but let's see if we can't make some moves here to like at least try to get towards them. Also, you might notice too that we are running on the same tires. Notice how we have this little thing that tells us exactly what our tire wear is, and we're actually on the same exact tires that we started the races in, so we're going to have to be careful with those. Now we're into the main event, already working lap number 3 of 50, as right now Elio Castroneves and Barlow Bonnie are trading the lead up there. Let's see if we can't make some moves. Doug Colby's right behind us, trying to make something happen. Tony Kanaan is behind him as well. It's a little something funny about this series. This series started as a Saturday night event. In fact, it was a Saturday night short track event that would take place during the middle of summer. But this year, they changed to Thursday nights to revive Thursday Night Thunder, which, if any old school fans are around, they might know exactly what I'm talking about. Now here comes the two Tonys, Tony Kanaan and Tony Stewart. Right now, we're having a little hard time with this car now, because this thing is getting tighter the longer we go. But right now, it's looking like there's going to be just a three-man race. Now here comes Tony Kanaan at the bottom. We're not that good on the high side, so we're gonna have to relinquish third to him. We'll see if we can get it back, but we're not gonna get it back with what we did with Tony Stewart back there, because that one I was just a bit more frustrated with. But here we go. Now we're gonna try. Ooh, Kanaan closed the door right there, so now we're gonna try and get around him and try to see if we can negate anything else. Right there, trying to get us around here, because now the laps are clicking off pretty quickly. Here comes Doug Colby almost trying to get underneath us, but nothing doing right there. We slowly we're slowly trying to reel in Tony Kanaan, but as you can see, Elio Castroneves and Bogavani have taken off big time. And that's something I think I am going to have to fix in the championship settings. But here comes Tony Kanaan. Here we go underneath Tony Kanaan. We got the moves. We got that down. Now put us into the third position. Now we just have to run this race the right way and see if we can't chase down the leaders, who are about 4 seconds ahead of us right now. Also trying to keep Doug Colby behind us. I'm also concentrating a lot, so that's why the commentary is a little bit rough right now. We also got to see if we can find a line that can help us, get up there, because we're making some good progress here on the lap times from the looks of it. But as you can see, Elio Castroneves and Bogavani are getting smaller and smaller in our front windshield. If we can get a caution, that'd be great. There's Tony Stewart right there behind me. Stewart's going to really try everything to wreck me or something, but I don't think he would do that. I mean, if this was not his series, then yes, he would do everything to wreck. He'd do everything to wreck me, I think. We now have 36 laps to go, and boy, Bogavani and Elio Castroneves are just saying goodbye to the field. Look at this. All of us are running at full song. Our cars are getting better, but we just don't have enough to get to. So that's something we're going to have to fix probably in the settings and stuff. Now here comes Doug Colby underneath us. Doug Colby trying to make a move to the inside, and he gives us a little hit. He does the same thing like he did in the first heat. I don't know what the hell he's trying to do there, but let's see if we can get Willie T. Ribs here again. Tony Stewart goes into us. Who gets into Willie T. Ribs? Tony Stewart to the bottom. Oh my god, carnage everywhere. And that puts us dead in the wall. Oh, the car is just all over the place. There goes Tony Stewart into the wall. Serves you right. Yeah, yellow flag. Yellow flag this. Holy mackerel. But Greg Biffle got past us. Well, this is going to be a perfect opportunity to see if we can get the race lead here. Jeez. Here we go. Green flag on lap 20 of 52. And I'm not sure why it says 52. I think they decided to add 2 more laps. Now here we go. 4-way battle for the race lead. Greg Biffle goes to the bottom. Elio Castroneves to the high side. We're going to be stuck in the middle. Biffle comes up. Gives us a huge hit. And messes himself up. And not only that, but we go back into the fourth position, I should say. Doug Colby right there. Now here comes Michael Waltrip. Man, everybody's just racing like it's the last lap. Now up ahead is Elio Castroneves and Tony Kanaan, the 2 Brazilians. Michael Waltrip gets into us. We head up towards the wall. Now we've lost almost the entire field of positions. 3 wide. Can we make it 4 wide here? Oh, we do. We're going to go right underneath Tony Stewart and put us back into the 4th position. Now let's see if we can make short work of Paul Tracy going down to the bottom. And we will get Paul Tracy right there. Ernie Francis Jr., we haven't heard of him at all during this race. He's now right behind us, but now we can see if we can catch up to Tony Kanaan and Elio. Woo! So much stuff happening right here. Now the big question is, do we have enough tires? And can we get a second place out of this? Because I don't think we can catch Elio Castroneves unless we get another caution. Then we can really do some damage. But man, that was a crazy restart for sure. And somehow we survived, which is good news. But yeah, I think from now on we're going to use a setup to get these cars to run right. Here comes By the Bonnie to the bottom. Big time run. Oh, By the Bonnie's going to take us right to the wall. Oh my god, By the Bonnie took us right into the wall. That's not usually like him. The car is totally damaged right there. Alright, here comes another restart, everybody. Pace car is in, and let's go back to green on lap 29 of 54, because it seems like now the game is just adding more laps, at least. But now let's get right up next to By the Bonnie and show them a little bit of displeasure right here, because I'm sorry, Labonte. I thought you were a little cleaner driver. I mean, you are in real life, but in this game, you just bang the hell out of us. So put us back in the third position. See if we can do something here with Tony Kanaan. Now Tony Stewart tries to make a move to the bottom. Tony Stewart again on that flat bar of the track. Let's see if we can give him a little bump to kind of shove him out of the way. We do, but here comes Greg Biffle. Everybody is all over the place. We're now running free line for the meat and the Biffle-Stewart sandwich again. Biffle gets into us. Tony Stewart in the wall. Holy mackerel, everybody's all over the place. I think that was Doug Kobe. Jeez Louise, everybody. This is not the last lap. Oh, man. I said this was a short track, and there would be short track excitement, but damn, I didn't think it was going to turn into a demolition derby. Here we go. Next up, green flag on lap 34 of 56 now. We got 22 laps to go. Let's see if we can get around these guys. I absolutely want to stay up here, but jeez. Let's see if we can get Tony Kanaan here. Ooh, come on. Oh, the car is just way too tight right now. The nose is just way too tight. So let's see if we can get him here. We're going to see if we can throw it in there. Not quite. Can't really get to Tony Kanaan. Let's see. Can we try it again right here? Ooh, we may have found something. I think we're going to get him. But the other question is, how is everybody else's tires? That's the next big question. But now put us in the second position, and now we're going to set our sights on the dancing Brazilian up ahead of us, Elio Castroneves. A few interesting stats on Elio Castroneves. He actually runs in the IndyCar Series right now for Meyershank Racing in the 06 Honda, and his last victory was actually in the 2021 Indianapolis 500. He beat Alex Palou. He's a four-time winner of the series. However, if you ask somebody like Paul Tracy or some Canadians, they'll say that he's a three-time winner because I believe it was the 2001 Indianapolis 500. There was a caution that came out right at the end, and because of the way the rules were back then, Elio ended up winning the Indy 500, but Paul Tracy believes that they were ahead at the time of the yellow flag. He also won Dancing with the Stars, and if you look up his quick step with Julianne Hough in the yellow suit dancing to Hey Pachuco from The Mask, it is probably one of the coolest quick steps ever in Dancing with the Stars history. It's definitely, a 10. Right now, we're here in the race lead, or we're here in second place, I should say. 15 laps to go. Elio's just checking out here on the field. Well, right now, By the Bonnie is trying to get us here, but we're just trying to find a good rhythm. But right now, we can't really get a good rhythm on this track because again, our car is just way too tight. We need to do something with it. And By the Bonnie will now go underneath us. I'm not really too pleased with what you did there, Labonte, especially with that. Sorry about that. I think that was a little bit of revenge from that point, but that will put us on the outside of Elio Castroneves. Man, this race has just been one crazy race after another. I mean, look at the nose of our car. But here we go. Let's see if we can get ahead of Elio Castroneves. We've been good on the restarts. Green flag with 12 laps to go, and we get him. So now we got Elio Castroneves, but for how long? Here he comes down to the bottom again, but let's see if we can't make something happen. Nope, car just got wicked tight. We had the lead there for a short period of time, but unfortunately the car is just way too tight, way too damaged to really hold the bottom. No thanks to By the Body and some of other drivers, but man, this has been one chaotic race. Now, let's not have any more cautions, because otherwise it's going to just make the race longer. 10 laps to go. But we're going to have a good finish here, that's for sure. Of course, this car is just completely mangled up. But hopefully the next race at Knoxville is going to be a little bit better, and then we can see if we can't get ourselves a win. And it's also on dirt, too, so we could get our first ever SRX win in the dirt. You never know. We'll see what happens. Going back around the start-finish line. Here comes Ernie Francis Jr. to third. Put us to 8 to go right now. Yeah, this car, I should have put a setup underneath this thing because I can tell the front end is just not going to grip. And I think that's because we set it up a little too tight. We should have set it up just a little bit looser. That way we could hunt the bottom a little better. But, you know, we live and learn. And plus, this is our very first ever race here at SRX. So. Well, on camera anyway. So Elio Castroneves is just pulling away from us. He's got a 2.6-second lead ahead. And looks like we're poised to finish second here. 5 laps to go. So we're going to get a good podium spot, which is great news. But boy, I'll tell you one thing. This race was just nothing but carnage. I couldn't believe how much carnage we got. Oops. Over the wall I went with 4 laps to go. And now the car is just feeling all weird right now. Oh boy, we're bringing up the entire field here. I feel like I'm kind of holding them up, but you know, that's because the car is just way too tight. Coming out of this corner, the final corner, we now have 3 laps to go in this demolition derby, I guess you could call it. I think the video is going to be called Demo Derby at Stafford or something. But here we go, we're coming down to just 2 laps of racing to go. Michael Waltrip is right there behind us, trying to get a move. Didn't get it. 2 to go now at the line. But Elio Castroneves has got smooth sailing ahead of him. He's coming to the white flag now, presented by Allied Bank. Well, this wasn't our race, and we did get to lead a little bit in some of these races. This is going to be one very fun season, but coming out of the final couple of corners, Elio Castroneves will take home the win at Stafford, so that's a win for the open wheel guys, and we will come home to finish in second place. Holy moly, what a demo derby. That was one really weird race. Let's look at that. See if we can see the replay here. See, look at that. We were just way too tight. Way too tight. But it was cool to see our car out there. It was pretty neat to see everything. Yeah, see, that line would have worked had we just had a little bit better setup. But anyway, we finished second, which is awesome. We survived somehow. So right now, we are currently second in the championship, and you can see that we are definitely a couple points behind Elio Castroneves, but hopefully we can overtake him in the next race, which is coming up in the next video. Because in the next race, we're going to be leaving the pavement of Stafford, Connecticut, and heading to Knoxville, which is where they run the Knoxville Nationals. So hopefully that'll be a fun one. There it is. All right, so that's gonna do it for this race. If you guys want to see more of this, make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to comment and also subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time here in SRX. Until then, take care.